I want you, dear viewer, to answer a question for me. What do you get when you combine this color that is very vibrant and eye-catching with this color that is also very bright and eye-catching but is on the opposite side of the color spectrum to create a design? You guessed it, you get very iconic designs like Superman, Optimus Prime, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario. I'm kidding, you get visual motion sickness. Strangely enough, we're in the timeline where Fire Emblem is finally starting to look like a AAA game, but our new poster child is based on a yin-yang symbol with a Papa Smurf motif, which, under normal conditions, would probably make this trailer much harder to appreciate. But thanks to some leaks of this game that came out around 2 months ago, I think I became subconsciously prepared for Mr. and Mrs. Colgate, even though I thought that those leaks were either completely fake or just screenshots from another game. Because how do you expect me to believe that a tactical RPG with a medieval war theme would have a main character that looks like she was designed to be a Hatsune Miku replacement? And in all honesty, I am still surprised that this is our king, but thanks to those leaks, my reaction to the trailer was basically just being surprised that the leaks were real, rather than dry heaving at the sight of the main character. But beyond that, this trailer gave me a lot to be happy about. Like, did you see the stained glass mural thingy? This is so fire. Emblem. Also, side note, I want to know how many people noticed these were Fire Emblem characters on their first watch, and if you did, who was the character that gave it away? Because I'm not gonna lie, I never played the game she's from, but the only one I noticed was Micaiah, and I don't know how. Like, I was looking for Byleth and could not find him for the life of me. We also got graphics that look like they turned the Fire Emblem Heroes Lonely Puppeteer Spring Remix music video into an entire game, which is great for the simple fact that I am now one step closer to seeing Ike hit the meanest tambourine solo that I never knew I needed. And best of all, this game has helped Fire Emblem Twitter produce some of its finest work, such as he got that Sonic and Knuckles cut. Put on your 3D glasses now. This new character looked like a VTuber. See what I mean? Due to unfortunate circumstances, I don't think I'll ever get over 3 houses. Fire Emblem needs more playable old women. When you wear multiple rings at the same time in Fire Emblem Engage, just felt like testing out the new Fire Emblem title font. Smiley face. Fire Emblem Engage. Fire Emblem Divorce. Fire Emblem I lost custody of the kid. Regardless, I've made a tradition around here to make bad predictions of what will happen in these games based on what was shown in their trailers, which, in my opinion, are actually not bad predictions, just predictions with a 30% chance or less of actually happening in the game. Gambling. This is gambling. There's a character in the Fire Emblem series that is named Ellie Wood, and the continent in this new game is named Elios, which means that wood does not exist in the continent and has been replaced by the original material O's. As we get closer to the mosaic painting, you will notice that there are 12 characters from the Fire Emblem series, each representing an hour on the clock, and because that is the case, that makes Roy officially 4 and 20. Roy will be voiced by Snoop Dogg out of respect. The Fell Dragon's main color is purple, and the main character's main color is red plus blue. And since red plus blue equals purple, then that means that the Fell Dragon is actually the main character. The supposed enemy is also based on the Yu-Gi-Oh card Serpent Knight Dragon, and is proof that both Yugi and Seto Kaiba will be attainable emblems in this game. As we pan through all of the emblems in this art piece, you will notice a bird between Sigurd and Micaiah. This bird is an emblem as well, but will not be summonable for combat, but will instead have the single purpose of stealing food from unsuspecting civilians. When the Fell Dragon gets smashed on the head, you'll notice that it never moved, which means that the hero in the blue cape instigated everything, and the Fell Dragon was sealed away even though it did nothing wrong. They show a man that seems to be a human version of the Fell Dragon standing in purple flame, but this is in fact not the Fell Dragon, but is actually his human twin brother, who the real Fell Dragon was trying to kill back when we first saw the purple blast, because his twin is evil, and remember, the Fell Dragon is the main character. And by process of elimination, that means that the hero in the blue cape is the Fell Dragon's evil twin brother. When protagonist Pepsi wakes up, we see that he has a tie on his neck that is a mix between a tie and a bow tie, which means that this is a tie bow tie, which also makes this a bow sandwich. Allier has a sandwich addiction and judges everyone they meet on whether or not they think hot dogs are sandwiches. This white dragon that shows up has a single leaf for a design at the end of its tail. This dragon is a vegan and also Canadian. This girl next to the tree is also the dragon from a second ago, but don't let that distract you. She's also a scam artist who knows that you are homeless and is trying to make you spend an unreasonable amount of money on a house because it has a windmill. These 4 characters we see look like they're destroying all of these enemies, but this is just them doing their wushu battle choreography, which is just a dance routine with a lot of punches and kicks. They can't fight. When we first see the ring activate, Allier is a completely motionless PNG, which means that when Marth is used, he is not just a floating entity that Allier gets to use at will. He is actually a full consciousness that kicks out Allier's consciousness and takes over his body entirely, and is plotting to replace Allier by the end of the game. This first girl we wake up to is named Frame, and she has a twin brother which is never named, but I can assure you that if the male twin is older, then his name is Picture, and if the male twin is younger, then his name is For Murder. These enemies are friendly and reasonable as long as you wear the color purple. Generic old man standing in the back seems like a wise experienced fighter, but he is actually just a farmer that uses an axe to cut his hedges, and wears armor to protect himself herself from bees. Alier's sword is named Liberation, and that is just one of the hardest names I've ever seen. This also means that he is a proud and free American, which is the reason for his color scheme. Frame goes from using some dusty wizard wand to hitting people with the Muay Thai, which suggests to me that she has the most interesting character arc in the game. Also, I just wanted a reason to bring up Iron Body Arts, which is actually just the coolest name for a weapon this game has ever had. New girl Chloe uses a slim lance, which is just another way of describing a harpoon. So Chloe is a fisherman and a whale hunter, hence the blue hair. Alfred is tween Dimitri. Moth looks like he's waiting at the town square doing nothing, but he actually just stole the second pillar on the right side of the castle and is hoping no one notices. This shopkeeper will be able to summon Anna, which will unlock rare and expensive items in the store. Alier's cape actually shrinks when he is not in combat. This cape will be able to talk and have a mind of its own. The half-sheared goat is a person on all fours with really stubby legs. The bird has a speech bubble because if you talk to it, the bird will reveal a hidden feather shop where you can buy clothing based on different species of bird. County runs a library but spray paints normal rocks and sells them at high prices like they are rare gems as a side hustle. Alier and Marth's fusion uses the weapon Mercurius, which means that in this game, Marth's home planet is Mercury. Celine is a distant relative of Elise, but was named after Celicus so that she didn't have to be associated with Fates when picking her emblem summon. That ring has the bird in it. Marth is only able to touch real objects because he stole someone else's arm so that he could interact with the physical world. Obviously.